In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Welcome to Rap in Order, the interrogation of a hip-hop album, where we take some of the culture's most beloved hip-hop albums, put them on the stand, see if they stood the test of time. Now let's see who we got on the stand today.
And welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
Taurian B.
How we doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Feels good to be back.
Yeah, we had a little break. Yeah, you went to Amsterdam.
I did.
I went to LA.
You did.
We, I realized I'm old. What'd you realize?
Well, I realized, I'll let you go first. Why did you realize that you old?
I went to Camp Flog Gnaw for the second year with my little brother Thomas.
Which is like a new, this is like a tradition for you.
Yeah, now it's a tradition. And my cousin God met up with us, which was funny. I'll tell you a funny ass story about that. So the reason why it was interesting is because I've been going to festivals for over 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So typically, like, I've gone to festivals from the front. Like, I'm one of those people, I want to see acts that I don't even know who they are. So I've gone to festivals and like got to the festivals from the time. Usually festivals start around noon, 1 o'clock, like at least open.
Yeah.
So you'll see like the opening bands and stuff like that. So, and like walk all day and go home, go back to the hotel room or go back to the Airbnb, eat some junk food, watch something on television, look at the videos you recorded on your phone, all of that good shit, and then crash, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, do it all over again, right? So we're in LA, we staying on Figueroa, downtown LA, and like we not far from Dodger Stadium, so we drive there. Parking is sold out. So this year, like parking completely sold out. So we had to park a little walk. Like, so like, let's say if Camp Flog Gnaw was at Yankee Stadium, I had to park my car at the beginning of the Willis Avenue Bridge.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I had to park my car. No, I'm exaggerating. On the Bronx side of the Willis Avenue Bridge, not the Manhattan side. So,
okay.
So I had to like park there and then just walk over. So that's maybe a mile, a mile walk. So okay, cool. That's not bad. So we do that. We get to Camp Flog Gnaw. So then if you know anything, we have VIP passes, but we didn't have super VIP, but we still got access to get in early. So we go inside and immediately you go to the merch line. That's what you do. You don't, when you get to Camp Flog Gnaw, if you want merch, the first thing that you do is you go to the merch line. You find out, like, so they had the artist merch line, they had the Camp Flog Gnaw merch line, and then they had the Chromacopia merch line.
Okay.
And then he had a Converse station, and he had a golf wing station where you can get just golf wing stuff, right? So I went to the Camp Flog Gnaw station, got myself a t-shirt, got this t-shirt, got a Tron Cat hoodie, got my mom this really cool Dodgers Camp Flog Gnaw shirt. And Thomas got stuff or whatever like that. So like, all right, we're walking around. They had Gus's fried chicken. So we went and got Gus's fried chicken.
Gus's.
Right? So we just chilling. So like, as the day is going on, I'm like, all right, I can do this, right? But there's 3 stages. So Thomas is going to see all of his favorite artists. And I'm like, I saw that nigga last year. I'm just gonna stay here. I'm just gonna stay here. Like I've seen some of these guys like a few times, right? So I'm just like, shit, man. How many more times? Like I know Vince Staples' new project is dope, but I'm gonna stay on the main area.
Yeah.
Like
you
that.
start placing your bets where you want to see.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like little things like that. So let's say by like 5 o'clock, I like found like an area, like they had like this big grass area, like with benches, and I just went to sleep,
you just said, yo. How long did you sleep over there for? What? Like 2 hours. Yo, Thomas probably was cutting my ass.
He was.
Yeah.
So him and God was cutting my ass. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be right here. And I did slept. Like, I don't know, like people could have just been taking pictures of me.
Yeah, probably.
Anything, bro.
Like, look at this old ass watch dude. Yeah, yo, that's crazy.
So I went to sleep. So Guy and Thomas come back. And like it's funny because like my little brother Thomas, y'all, like he's roasting him and Guy are roasting each other. So all of the cousins, like all of us have like certain dynamics, like where one of the older cousins picks on one of the younger cousins. Me and Guy have never had an argument ever. And And it's not because like he's like a 10-degree black belt. It's just that we just get along that well, guys. So him and Thomas are going at it, and like Guy like always like he always like wears like crazy layers. So like Guy was dressed, and like Thomas said something to him that made me so proud because I realized that my brother could like really roast. He was like, "Man, you look like you work at IKEA."
Oh yeah, you sent me that one. You sent me Guy's fit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then Guy, because you know Thomas is very small, was like, "Well, you built like Sasha Banks." Sasha Banks is a female wrestler, and like some people say that she's built like a little boy.
Yeah.
So he's like, "You built like a woman that's built like a little boy." So it was funny to wake up to them niggas just roasting each other and shit. We had a good time. Tyler's set was amazing. I saw Doshi. I got to see SZA come out with Doshi. That was great.
Mhm.
Seeing Sid is always a pleasure. I always enjoy seeing Sid.
Mhm.
Erica Badu, she was great. I saw Andre 3000 play that fucking flute.
Yeah, so okay, so this was my question too. So like for his live shows, is he performing? He's performing the New Blue Sun album,
Mhm.
but is he able to replicate that sound from the album? Because the way that he promoted New Blue Sound or New Blue Sun
Mhm.
was that it's very much like freestyle and just free form of playing the flute. So it's like, how do you replicate that?
I would have to go back to listen to the album, but like
Yeah.
there was one part where he started like talking gibberish,
hmm
and like everybody like gasped, and he was like, "Ha, I got y'all."
Oh wow, nah, he's a dick for that.
Yeah, because like we was like, "What?" Like we thought he was speaking in tongues,
Yeah,
and like he was just like, "I got y'all, I got y'all." And he
like
just,
oh yeah, I thought I was about to rap.
yeah.
Psych.
I don't even know if he. No, I don't. I think he had like. I think he was like basically like teasing us like, "Yo, I'm about to just start like saying anything like that Eminem freestyle where he's like, even the upper Cuba in the upper."
Oh, and how long was his set?
45 minutes, and then Erica Badu came on right after him. Well, so he was on the flog stage. Erica was on the main stage, which is camp. Erica was 20 minutes late. Her performance and her lighting and everything was amazing. Like the screen, like the you know, like the graphics was fucking dope. Like it was really, really done well.
Nice.
But because they were going, like, it was strict over time, and it was funny because they cut her music right as she was giving Tyler his props.
Damn.
Like they cut the mic, and like she's talking, and she's like, and then she just threw the mic up in the air. But like
And
it was,
just left.
but it was her fault. Like she was 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they have to keep shit rolling.
The MF Doom tribute was dope. I got a coffee mug.
Nice.
That was really, really dope. I saw Mace perform, and it was really funny because like he's really a pastor. Like the way he like interacts with the crowd in between songs and stuff like that. Also, he performed the hits that he has with Puff. And so like he was performing, he was like, "What? Y'all not feeling this? I wrote these songs. It's okay. He didn't write those songs. These are my words."
Oh, because the crowd was probably hesitant. Like,
yeah, he was like,
"This Diddy shit."
He was like, "I wrote the song and I just put it like, don't worry, it's okay."
Yo. Oh, Mace.
That was pretty funny. And then
his set was good though.
Mace's set was good. He got dances that come out and shit like that. It's really interesting seeing him come out because it's like, yo, like Mace is old. Okay, yeah. I'm old, but Mace is old. Then what other highlight? So it wasn't a highlight, but it was just an interesting watch. I don't get Playboy Cardi, bro.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
He came out and he screamed. So before he comes out. Yeah, he screamed. Before he comes out, like his DJ's hyping the crowd up, and like he says, like the flyest nigga in the game, this and that. And I'm like, yo, does his hype man just like tell us what we're supposed to think of him?
Yeah.
And then like the lights were so like crazy, like going. So I'm like, yo, if you got narcolepsy, like you definitely are seizing out, right? So that was like a thing, and like he just came out and like his songs would play, and he's just out there like, yeah. Just screaming.
And then the crowd is probably going nuts to that shit.
So that was that. And who else? Oh, Daniel Caesar performed. And I couldn't understand for the life of me why people were passing out.
You said that. People's passing out when he came out.
Yo, like yes, like
what?
People were passing out like throughout the concert. That was ever since the Travis Scott incident, anytime somebody passed out, they'd be like, yo, put your lights up so medic can get to them, whatever, like that. So that was like a thing. But like I just didn't understand like why. Like I'm like for Daniel Caesar, like why is that like a thing?
Yeah, and I
But
like
some people were saying to me like, if you think about it, if a person's been doing drugs all day, by the time they get to Daniel Caesar, like they're probably like like they probably like hit their boiling
So it
point.
wasn't even probably because of Daniel Caesar.
I don't know, but my narrative was Daniel Caesar had bitches falling out.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Daniel Caesar.
And then Mustard and Friends was dope. You want to know what would have been cool if Mustard could have premiered TV off at Camp Flog Gnaw?
Oh, that would have been crazy.
I really like that.
Do you think that kind of crowd is receptive to song premieres though? I feel like
Bro, I feel like TV.
that.
I feel like TV off it would have worked, and that was an LA crowd because he was bringing out
And
LA
also it's a
artists,
Kendrick song,
right?
yeah.
And he was bringing out like so. I realized I had a realization of something that was obvious, but it was a very realization thing. Like we have like New York, we're biased because we think that like the world revolves around New York. We have local acts that some people do not get in other cities. Like I've literally had somebody from Atlanta tell me they don't get the big deal with Jay-Z. Like, and I got upset, but I had to really think about it. Like, if you're from Atlanta and like you've really traveled anywhere else, like why would like Jay-Z's telling like early in his career he was telling New York centric stories.
Yeah.
In LA, like there's people that like we might think like are like corny or like whatever or like not cool or not interesting. In LA, they're speaking to them, speaking their experiences, giving things that are told like about what they're doing, like how they have like pool parties in the backyard of their crib, going certain places. And I guess I noticed it because when Mustard was doing his set, like I saw people singing their hearts out to Tooted and Booted.
Tooted and Booted.
And like, cause he brought out Ty Dolla $ign, he brought out YG, he brought out then Tiger came out, like, and I realized like, oh, and then I forgot there was a Spanish rapper that came out that's from out there. I forgot his name, damn. But like I saw the Mexicans going crazy. The Mexicans was repping for hip hop at fucking Camp Flog Gnaw, bro. The Mexicans, y'all showed the fuck out for hip hop.
Oh man.
But yeah, all in all, I had a really good time. I got to hang out with my brother. Also, congratulations, Thomas. Thomas just got in the Morehouse.
In the Morehouse,
yes,
baby.
man. That was
That's so
Morehouse.
fun.
Yeah, my little brother. When he graduates, he will be a Morehouse man. But until he graduates, he is a man of Morehouse.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that there was that.
Yeah, there's a distinction. So yes, man, like he's going to the same college as MLK.
Morehouse is right across the street from Clark, right?
They're all like on the same campus. So it's Clark, Spelman, Morehouse, all on the same campus.
Okay.
So MLK, Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel, John David, Metro Boomin. I don't know if he went to Clark or he went to Morehouse. I think Metro Boomin went to Morehouse. Killer Mike, who else went there?
Shout out to Jenks.
Oh yeah, Jenks went to Morehouse. Also Chris Thomas, that's who Corey Towns' roommate. He went to Morehouse.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's a good Bill Cosby. Did he go to Morehouse? No, he didn't go to Morehouse. So he donated, but they took it away. They took it back. They gave the money back. But
that nigga had it back.
But yes, anyway, I'm gonna stop yammering and let Regg get into his trip about Amsterdam because Amsterdam is way cooler. Like bro, I had a really good time, but Amsterdam's way cool.
Yeah, bro. Amsterdam is just such a breath of fresh air, bro. Like for one, it rained a lot while we was there, but I didn't mind it because like the city and the scenery is just so nice and it adds to it. And they fucking love hip hop out there. It's crazy. Like they just love that shit. The streetwear, the culture. Went to some bar out there, and while we was there, he was like, "Yeah, you guys want to play a song or whatever?" They was playing like some older songs. So Jess, shout out to my homie Jess, she was like, "Oh," he handed her the iPad and was like, "Oh, just play what you want to play." And she was like, "Oh, I know what will fit with this vibe. Play Ladies Night." And it's some white guy, Dutch white dude. So he's like, "Ladies Night," and he was like, "It must be Angie on the mic." Yeah, I got that one. And I was like, oh shit. He just off the cuff. It was kind of cool. So even scenery like that, went to some galleries, we went to some bars out there, we went to coffee shops. So coffee shops out there are they're called coffee shops, but they're weed shops.
Okay.
So we was actually looking for coffee shops, walking into weed shops. So we kept.
Don't they serve coffee at the weed shops? Though?
They do, but it's not like good quality coffee.
That's
like,
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So like you'll walk in, you can order from a menu that has both, and like you just order it. And I don't smoke, but while you're there, you know. But like, and then it gives you all like the symptoms and everything. It got it all laid out on the menu, like at fucking McDonald's. And then you order it, and you can go sit down and just smoke and drink your coffee. It was lit.
Rob needs to go to Amsterdam.
Yeah. Oh my God, he would love that. And then shit. Speaking of lit, so walk through red light district. And like it's this very particular part. It's this particular part in the city. If listeners, viewers, if you're not familiar, is where night workers usually, you know, that's where they kind of just do their thing, right? And when you walk through, there's like canals everywhere throughout Amsterdam.
Mhm.
It's kind of essentially how I would picture how Manhattan is supposed to look if we didn't put buildings on top of shit.
Okay.
Right? Because Manhattan is just, you know, it's an island. So like over there, they use it to kind of just make their way around the city. So like through the middle of the city and the town is canals, and you know, you'll see boats and shit and people just traveling back and forth. Then on the other side of it is what they call the red light district. So like you walk through and there's these women behind glass doors, and it's all illuminated in red, and they stand in there and they're enticing you, and they want you to come in and they want you to talk to them. So like we're just walking through, and all of them are just like, if you make eye contact with them, they want to fuck you pretty much, right? They looking at you like, yeah, come, like, what's up, right? So we walk in, we looking for directions and shit like that. We get to one end of that passageway. We looking for directions to something, and I'm just looking up sightseeing. There's this dude. You could tell he's probably like from there. Just walking. He's on his way somewhere. Some girl behind the glass knocks on the glass, knocks mad hard, and turns around. And she opens the door. She's like, "Come here." He goes over. They talk a little bit, and then he looks at his watch. And he just goes in, and then it closed.
I guess he was like, all right,
he's like, you know what? I got time. I'm on my way to work, but I got an extra 15 minutes, you know?
I wonder would that make a difference if somebody like on their way to work can just go pay for some pussy and then go to work?
Yeah, I think that's what happens. That was probably his day. We saw older couples walking through, scouting, holding hands, looking around. His girl was pointing like, yeah,
man. There's a reason why other countries don't have the problems that we have.
Yeah,
I think it's a lot of the restrictions that we just put on certain shit.
Can you imagine some shit like that on 42nd though? That would be nuts. Oh my!
I think
God.
I think it will help. Like, I mean, I think if we had the infrastructure like put in place a lot earlier, then it would be normal. Now we do it. It's like people want to know how to act.
Yeah, nah, and we just have. I think the city itself is just so loose with the way that they do things and the law, and their work-life balance is crazy. It's amazing. We went out to eat one night and looked at we got the bill, and we was like, damn, like they don't really, it was like the second restaurant that we went to, and we was like, yo, like they don't really leave space for us to write tips. It was like, yo, like what do we?
Yeah, you don't tip.
Yeah,
I know.
And they was like, yeah, no, we don't really. She was like, she's like, I get paid pretty well, so we don't really.
Yeah, I did that. I made that mistake when I went with my mom to Germany when I was younger. I left a tip because I worked in the service industry at that time. And like you would have thought like I like asked a woman to suck my dick. Like she like was so insulted. She was like, "You fucking Americans."
Wow.
Like she was pissed. And I was like, I didn't know. Like I'm a waiter too. Like I was trying to explain to her, like, no, like, and she was just like, "You fucking American."
Wow.
Just fucking cut.
That's crazy. Damn. Yeah.
I felt so bad.
I didn't even think about it that way. But yeah, you don't tip because they make a living wage. They make a living wage. Whereas over here, they're still like making like $8-9. And then everything that they make with the tips, they get to keep. But it's like, you know, a big part of that is their tips.
Yeah. But I prefer making tips.
Yeah.
When I was a waiter in Atlanta, so what was this, 2005, 2006, I was making $8 an hour plus my tips. And the reason why I was making $8 an hour, because most of the other waiters, they were only making like 4 and change. I started out as a bus boy, and I got promoted to a waiter, but they kept me on because I still was busing. I was doing both, but I was still doing busboy work. So like they didn't change it. So it was like kind of like a cheat code. But long story short, like I used to make so much money in tips, like just because like I was young and hungry and like faster than the other waiters were old. So long story short, like that tip, like I see why like bartenders like bartend and shit like that. Cause like bartenders, they don't make a lot hourly, but it's like it's their tips.
Yeah.
And so it's like if depending on like what kind of lifestyle you have, if you walking home every day with $400, it's
Yeah,
a good
in a
living.
day.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
$400 in the day, like you know what I'm saying. So it's just like and shit in 3 days. In 3 days that is, so let's see. 400, 800, 1200. So in 3 days, you can make almost $1,200. Like that's a pretty good wage. Like I was doing at that time. I had a really nice car, all that shit.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So it just depends, but you know, you still gotta like declare on your taxes and shit like that. But it's something that's good. But
yeah, Amsterdam was amazing, bro. And then we went to the movies out there. Saw the Denzel Gladiator 2. Which was really good.
I've heard nothing about that movie besides Denzel Washington. I don't know any.
So obviously, if you've seen the first one, you can already tell the type of storyline that they're gonna go after. Which this character that's introduced is the son of Maximus from the first one, and he kind of carries out his legacy, and you get to see that play out. But Denzel is a refreshing character because it's Denzel, like And then I think with the press tour that he did, it added a lot of lore to this movie. And he doesn't disappoint. Like it's fucking Denzel Washington. Like I wanted to see more of like what he would do. And just when I was getting into the bag of his character, it kind of just was wrapping up. So I wanted to see more.
That's
but the movie theater out there was dope. It was in English, but the subtitles were in Dutch. It was cool.
I wonder how the Dutch feel about that.
I know. Like this is our land. Like this is the language that we speak. You know. But,
so in other news, have you been paying attention to the news?
Have I? Which part? We could start anywhere.
I know we could start. Well, all right, because I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we're recording this today is what, the 7th of December?
Yeah.
So this is going to come out Wednesday. So that's the 11th, right? So just yesterday there was a report that the day before yesterday there was a report that the CEO of United Healthcare was assassinated in plain sight by the flyest hitman we've ever seen.
Yeah, they put out like stuff that he was wearing, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, he was wearing all the designer shit. Apparently, like he had on a Push Icy mask, but like at one point he went to go get coffee, and like they got like a record, like something of his face.
Yeah, he took his mask. He looked like Vinny Chase from Entourage.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. You putting that on Vinny?
He dead ass looked like him.
But as you know, people already have the conspiracy theories. There's so many things going around, but it is just like a very, very interesting occurrence, and it's unfortunate. That man lost his life. That man had a family. But obviously everybody has like their own theories about what happened, what he did or what he didn't do, or like it was down with the system for U.S. health insurance. So, it kind of sucks that that had to happen to that guy like that.
Yeah, man. Because at the end of the day, he is the CEO of of a multi-billion-dollar company like United Healthcare that covers most of the healthcare and within the States. And I saw a lot of people taking out their grievances and frustrations on how he ran the company. But it's like, bro, there's probably so many people within that board meeting, and he's the one that's taking the brunt of it. So we don't really know. We didn't even know this dude's name up until a couple days ago.
I had no idea who he was.
So like,
so it was like,
we can't really blame or place all our frustrations with this company on this man. And it's kind of crazy that people are.
It's okay.
It's kind of crazy that people are placing, like, celebrating him dying or his demise. Like it's weird. I don't know much about him.
So it's just like I like it. There's more details probably will come out as time goes on. The shooter is still at large. Obviously
he's not in New York anymore.
Yeah, he's not in New York anymore. I don't like the way he dipped out of here was crazy. That was like some espionage shit. So we'll see. But in other news, Drake is suing Universal UMG Music Group, UMG, and he also is saying that they funded Kendrick Lamar defaming his name.
Yeah. So we'll note to Mena, two things can be true thing, right?
Yep.
Where yes, UMG could have took part in the bots or whatever like that, but it's just kind of weird the timing of this. You know, like Drake, it feels like Drake was kind of working against this machine and now is coming to collide now because after he lost his battle. But in the past few months and almost over the year, we've seen how he's played this out where he's kind of been going against the machine. Like he's been releasing songs on IG. He's finding different way. He made a Finsta. He was putting everything on there. And I think that's all within reason. Like he didn't want to put it under the company, but then you would see them have him take it off of IG and then put it up on streaming. So the common viewer doesn't really care about shit like that. But like I was looking at that shit like there's obviously something going on. And just within the record industry, like J. Cole put out a song on IG as well.
Yeah.
And Kendrick put out a song on IG. So it's like, I don't know what's happening. Something is switching up though. And I think everybody's paying attention.
Something's coming down the pike. I think we'll find out sooner or later. Probably sometime next year. But things are definitely changing. Yes, two things can be true. I do think that Drake is like a herb for suing, but I also understand like what he's doing if you're in business. I just think that's a conflict of interest always though, because hypothetically, right? Let's say when Hiss came out, right? There was a Drake diss and Hiss. That was number one, right? So let's say like would he say that Hiss was also against him? And like UMG was like funding, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess what I'm saying is Drake is saying, I'm your cash cow. Why are you helping someone that can harm your cash cow when I'm the face of this company? Essentially,
I get what you're saying. I think it's different though because there's a lot of people that still don't even know that there's lines about him on his.
Okay, I guess that's like how like I'm seeing it.
And or for listeners, Hiss is the Megan Thee Stallion song.
Oh yeah, Hiss is the Megan Thee Stallion song. And it's mainly for Nicki Minaj, but he got bars on it too. So I guess for me, like, or all right, let's say sometimes Taylor Swift throws shots, right? Let's say Taylor Swift like makes like a reference or whatever like that, right? And her song it is number one at the same time that he has something out. Does he like? I just want to understand like. Could any would
he have the same energy if it wasn't for this Kendrick song?
Right. Like, and I get it. Like, it's mainly because of the pedophile part. But even still, I think even if the pedophile part wasn't in there, he still would say like, "Yo, I'm in negotiations, and you guys are devaluing me because I lost quote unquote a battle." In his mind, he's like, "Who gives a fuck if I lost the battle? Drake fans are Drake fans."
But I don't think it's solely about the battle. I think it's about the allegations and how it's hurting his pocket a little bit, probably, or it threatens his pocket because
I think it threatens his pocket. I don't think it's hurt his pocket. Yeah, I think that it's funny to me though because. This isn't like the first time. Remember, like it's not the same, but it's in the same ballpark. It's in the same parking lot as the stadium. Remember when Nas went on his rant on the radio and was like, "Yo, you don't think Jay-Z was in the studio when R. Kelly was having little girls in the studio?" And basically alluding saying that Jay-Z
Part 105 rant.
Yeah. Like, so my thing is like Jay-Z and Nas could have sued, like they could have sued each other. Like, I'm just thinking like. And they were both Universal artists. Like, I guess because those songs like didn't chart and that was like our thing, hip hop. I guess that's how we're looking at it. But I just don't understand how he feels that it's not in his best interest because basically he's saying like, yeah, I don't want you to support any artist but me, and we're on the same label. Like that doesn't make sense. Like I feel like a judge would be like, you got to be kidding me. Like I would actually understand him more if Kendrick was on another label and they were funding him.
Same. Because at the same time, the label is the label, and both of them are under that umbrella.
Right.
So it's like we gotta fund both sides if we see an opportunity in both of them.
Right.
We're not gonna not fund this when there's opportunity here, and it's the biggest beat that we've ever seen.
Right. Because this is me being a hip hop historian. Dr. Dre and Eazy-E's beef, like easily, like that could be like similar, same exact thing. Like they was calling Dr. Dre a homosexual. They were saying that Eazy-E got raped, like all kind of shit. And they were saying like really mean things about each other back and forth. They all were on the same labels. Like that's what people forget. Like when Ice Cube left NWA, they were all like he was still on, like they were on the same label, Priority. Like
yeah.
So my thing is like I would like somebody that's watching, do the research for me. Would Eazy-E have a case against Dr. Dre like how Drake does? Because at the time, like I get it that like Death Row was on the rise, but I'm talking about the very beginning, the early stages of Death Row, before the Chronic came out, the Eazy-E have a lawsuit on his hands for them definitely like basically
He might. I
embarrassing
mean,
him.
well, shit. He might have. But I don't know. I don't know how deep the proof goes for that. For Drake at least.
Right.
As far as like, it's like, okay, yeah. Where's the proof that this is happening? Because also, this system has been in your favor for so many years.
Right.
You know?
Like they just showed the thing. They showed in the last 10 years, the #1 artist on Spotify, Drake, was out of 10 years, he had 3. Drake had 3, and I think Taylor Swift had 3.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was like Post Malone in there, Ed Sheeran,
mm-hmm.
and like damn, who was the other artists? It definitely wasn't. I think was it? No, not Eminem. I forget, but those are the names I remember.
I remember when Scorpion. Yeah, The Weeknd too. I remember when Scorpion came out and he was on the cover of every playlist.
Yeah,
and none of his music. It was some of his music that didn't even fit that playlist, like fucking Neo Soul, and you would just see Drake on the cover. It's like, what the fuck?
Right. So it's one of those weird things because like basically Drake is saying like there's no fucking way that Kendrick Lamar, like basically they're saying Kendrick Lamar's metrics don't show that he should be #1 for this long. He's never done this before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a new thing. So obviously that must mean that they're putting something else in the machine to make this song go seem bigger than what it is. Like I get, like I read up on it, guys. So I understand like what's being said, but I just don't, like I just can't understand why Drake can't move on. But it's just like also he that like this is how like I mean like all this battle has shown me is how non-American Drake is. He's absolutely from another country.
Yeah,
he does not read the room at all. Like he don't give a fuck what we think about him. Like I'm realizing like the things that like we're taking, like he's not from here, bro.
Yeah, nah,
like he's really not an American.
Yeah, I think it works in his favor a lot though. It works in his favor a lot of not being from here and being able to take off. And then now you see why he cut those braids off, because it's time to go. It's time to go to court.
Yeah, it's time to go to court. It's time to get serious. It's time for him to.
Yeah,
it's time for him to use his white voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Not talk with his patois, a Caribbean accent, anything like that. Use his Toronto slang. No,
that's why he cut them shits off, because it's time.
Yeah, his people tell. Yeah, because I believe the court date is the first hearing is next week.
I thought it was in January. It's next week.
December.
You're right. So it's probably like the 20th.
They just go. I think they just show up and like they just state their grievances, and then it gets adjourned to another date, so that they get a date after this, because everything's about to close down for the holiday.
Yeah. But is he showing up in person?
I think his lawyers are just
he wouldn't do that.
I don't think he's
that would be a bad look for him.
That would look crazy. But yeah, bro, like I'm really like sitting here thinking like, cause this is only something that would like really be like to Americans. I feel like in Canada, like that's just not a big deal.
Do you think he's trying to get this resolved before the Super Bowl, and then best case or worst case scenario, he wouldn't Kendrick wouldn't be able to perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl?
I think,
or on his tour.
I think so, but I think that's what he would like, but I don't think that can happen. But truthfully being told, like truthfully, like, and I wholeheartedly mean this, I love They Not Like Us, but Kendrick don't ever need to perform that song again.
Nah, he don't.
He's done. Like the damage has been done. He did it. Like it would it be even cooler to me is like Kendrick just like he has a show and the fans just perform it.
Yeah, he don't even say shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like Kendrick is taking that approach of trying to get away from the song anyway. It's not even on his album.
Right. Like I don't think that he's gonna put it on the next album. Like I think like that's it. Like that song had his moment and that's it. Like he's not going to like he doesn't need like that song did his job and that's it. So,
I think as a standalone it's great.
Right. I enjoyed it. Really quick, I love GNX.
Yeah.
I thought it was an amazing project. We're going to talk further about that in the promo. But yeah, like GNX is a great project.
GNX is really good.
I'm actually glad. I'm actually glad. So at first I was so impatient. I was like, oh my God, like Reg is just getting back from Amsterdam. He got to work. Like, I'm busy. Like, we were both busy.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, damn, like, we're going to miss the window. But I am so glad now, like, looking back, that we had to wait to talk about this album, because my initial thoughts compared to my, like, hundreds of listens now are way better.
So what were your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts were like,
Let's start from where were you when it dropped?
I was in New York when it dropped. It was like, I woke up to it.
I think you had just got back.
Yeah, I just got back. Like, I like woke up to it or something like that. But like, I immediately just thought, yeah, I think like Quincy put it in the group chat. Excuse me. And I listened to it and I was just like, he's like, Whacked Out Yours is the first song.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I enjoyed this energy from Kendrick. I felt like he finally made a regional album.
Yeah.
And I think that even though he didn't need to, and I think he was trying to like step away from it and try to like be more artistic, this was needed just because like I felt like a lot of people was like playing with his name, like saying like, yo, you don't even like embrace West Coast culture. Like, you know,
you don't show love for it.
And I realized that he kind of like stepped away from West Coast culture so much because like I saw Lord Jamar. I have a love-hate relationship with Lord Jamar. I love Lord Jamar, but I also can't stand Lord Jamar. Where he was basically saying like, now Kendrick's embracing gang culture. And I was like, I'm not an expert. I'm not expert on LA culture, but from what I know is like, LA is about neighborhoods, and like, you know, whatever your neighborhood is, you rep that set. Like, you don't have to be in the gang to understand gang culture. Living in Compton, like, if your cousin is a blood, that means that you protected by bloods. Niggas know that. Niggas know you either rap, you play ball, like you do something, but they don't fuck with you.
Right.
So Lord Jamar basically was saying like, so now Kendrick's a gangbang, and I'm like, he don't get it. And like, this nigga's New York bias runs so deep. There's nothing you can say to Lord Jamar to make him understand like what it is.
I think especially for Kendrick, you know, he's always talked about, I think Good Kid, Mad City is such a great reference point for his beginnings, because Good Kid, Mad City is all about like being in the midst of this culture and not really knowing your way fully, but kind of just having homies that's in it. Shit, I'm with the homies, you know, kind of being enthralled in that and not knowing your space and not knowing your way. And then by the end of the album and the end of that experience, knowing where you fit in, you know, and just embracing that, like, yo, I'm not a gang nigga, but you know, I grew up in this.
Yeah. And yeah, so this project was, I feel like I can confidently say this. Of all of Kendrick Lamar's projects, I feel like this is probably the easiest listen for somebody.
I think so too, mostly because of the duration of it. It's really short.
It's the duration and like,
no. I think the easiest listen is still Damn for a lot of people, because this is regional. So I think
I get what you're okay. I'm a little biased with that because I actually like West Coast music. And
I love West Coast music, but I think
I get what you're saying. Damn,
the regional sound is not for everybody.
Okay, yeah. So it's an easy listen if you're like a hardcore like hip hop fan. But Damn is like basically like for the masses. That's like his pop album. That's his volume 2.
That's the one that if it came out now, he probably could have went on a stadium tour by himself with time.
I don't know. Stadium tours alone are hard. Like if you think about it, most artists that go on stadium tours like do take, like even rock bands, like they take like a decent like opener for them, whatever like that. Like Beyonce is Beyonce, but when Jay-Z did his stadium tours, like it was with Beyonce, with Eminem, never just Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to
do that.
Yeah, like, and I'm trying to think like U2 does stadium tours. I'm trying to remember. I don't think Kanye got to do a stadium tour. He wanted to. That was his goal. So
that's what graduation was gonna be.
The stadium tour was supposed to be with Lady Gaga, and he fucked that up. That's right. It was supposed to be the Fame Monster tour.
Yeah.
And he fucked that up. I know he hates that till this day. But shit, like, you know, like most artists, like we hear like legacy acts like Elton John, you know, somebody like that that's doing a stadium tour or something like that. It's very hard to like sell out.
Shout out to Elton John, by the way. Is he blind now?
What?
I think he like lost his eyesight or some shit.
What?
I'm not making that up. Let me see. I'll tell you right now.
I think it told Stevie wanted to hold my beer.
Yeah, let me see. Says he's lost his eyesight while on stage in London 4 days ago. Says he struggled to watch new music. Okay, yeah, he's losing his eyesight.
Wow.
Says he has lost his eyesight. Yeah. I don't know.
That's
sad.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah. So
imagine if Stevie Wonder gets his eyesight back. Maybe that's the trade-off.
that'd be crazy. I mean, Stevie, it's time for Stevie.
Yeah, give Stevie a pick.
Just give him a peek of the world. He might not even want to see it.
Right. I know he wants to see LeBron play. He loves seeing LeBron play.
So yeah.
Ready to get into this episode?
Yeah, let's do it. Well,
or do you
GNX? Okay. We were gonna talk. I was gonna bring up the tour.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, like we were already talking about the tour. He's going on tour with SZA, which we're both going to.
Yes.
You actually reminded me in one of the chats because you was like, I passed up on these sneakers to go to this tour, and I was like, oh shit, them tickets on sale.
That was hard. I know that doesn't sound like it was a hard decision, but it was a hard decision. You know how much I love it.
Yeah, I hopped online. I was like, shit, man, let me see what these tickets is going for. They're not cheap.
Yeah, not at all.
Tickets is not cheap. But I think we're in a pretty good section.
It is. I sat in that. That's the same section that me and Sarah sat in for Beyonce's last tour.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good section. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited. I think our wallets might feel it now, but by the time the tour comes around, it's practically free. We already paid for it.
Yeah, we already paid for it. It's going to feel good. You know, I'm going to rack up on merch.
Yeah, word.
You know, that good shit.
So it's out the way, man. I'm looking forward to that. And he says by that time, it's safe to say we'll have a new project.
Yeah, she's going to drop that deluxe.
Yeah.
So she's dropping the deluxe.
I think she's supposed to drop the deluxe, and she's also supposed to drop a new album.
Okay.
That's what she's been saying.
What I think is really cool with SZA is like you and I, like we really saw it from like the ground up, right?
Pandora House at South by Southwest.
South by Southwest. And it's sometimes it's hard for me to fathom that SZA is like one of the biggest artists in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember for a long time.
I think it is for her too.
Right. Because I remember at one point, like her and Janae Aiko was like on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And then like SZA just like leaped from, well, I think because SZA has a stronger voice than Janae. Janae has a very like soft, like delicate voice.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, you know, and I feel like she just hasn't made like her project that kind of like puts her in like that lane, that Sade, that stratosphere of like Sade. That's
I think
Janae.
she easily could, but I don't know what it is. I feel a lot of apprehension from her.
She a California girl, bro.
Yeah, she just wants to do shit.
She a California girl. I'm realizing the more and more I visit LA, she is.
Yeah,
I'm realizing more and more I visit LA that everybody is so laid back at LA because of the time difference. So nothing really matters.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
Nothing is a big deal. Like it's whatever. Like, you know, okay. Like you get one thing done and that's your day. Like
you get up, you plan to go to the beach. That's what you did for the day.
Yeah, that's it. Like it's not like this big complicated thing. So that's that. But
we can transition into getting into this album. So in trying to decide the album that we wanted to do, I knew that I wanted to revisit another album from this gentleman. He's having such an amazing year, and we're on the topic of West Coast anyway.
Yep.
Kind of just fits along the line of that. And I'm talking about Tyler, the Creator. And the album that we're going to do is Cherry Bomb. So Cherry Bomb is actually his fourth album. It was released April 13th, 2015. It was released through Our Future Records. Production, of course, was handled by Tyler with guest appearances from Schoolboy, Charlie Wilson, Wayne, Kanye, and a few more. And his discography is widely considered by fans as a left turn, and Tyler himself acknowledges that it sounded shifty due to where he was in life at the time. So Cherry Bomb 2015, what were your first? Okay, I think you've actually told this story before about you was listening because you was trying to listen to the Kanye.
With Thomas.
Yeah.
Story.
So that was like one of your first.
Yeah. So when this project came out, my first listen, I went straight to Smuckers. My little brother was in the car with me. I played Smuckers because I wanted to hear what Kanye and Wayne was talking about. Lo and behold, my little brother hears Tyler and realizes that that's the same guy that does the TV show Loiter Squad that he watches on the Cartoon Network. And, you know, my little brother became one of Tyler Creator's biggest fans in the world. And, you know, like for me, like this album, I like listened to it and I was just like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? Like it just seemed like he was trying to fit everything in to one project. Like he had like all of this music in him and like he just was trying to just slam everything into like one.
Yeah.
So this was still Tyler, like it was Tyler making a pivot because he was becoming better musically, but also like it was like Tyler like really experimenting. Like this is, you wanna know what's funny? I realized that ASAP Rocky tried to do this as well with testing.
Yeah,
I feel like Rocky tried to thought that he could do a better job than Tyler with testing.
Yeah.
And I never thought about that comparison.
Yeah, even the name was so, you know, it was like inching towards it. It's like, testing, you know, it's like, I'm just trying this out.
I'm trying this
He
out.
didn't really like let his nuts hang, so to speak. Like he could have just really, Cherry Bomb is a statement.
Right.
Testing is kind of like, I don't know.
Right. The Runaways made the song Cherry Bomb in the 70s. And like there's an interview where he said like he wanted to make an album that recreated that energy of like punk rock.
Yeah,
in the hip hop realm. So, and hip hop and punk rock are like cousins. A lot of people don't know that because it's like they like as time has gone on, like they've really like split.
Really shifted, yeah.
But the origins of the energy for punk rock and hip hop are in the same wheelhouse, right? So it's just funny to me that like Tyler like he wanted to do this project, and he had a conversation with Pharrell before this album and after this album. And you could tell that anything that Pharrell says to him, like he hangs on Pharrell's every single word and tries to like do things, and like he comes to him like, what do you think? Like that, like, you know, and it's very interesting and very cool to me.
I think it is too. And especially you said Pharrell. The first song, Death Camp, is so Pharrell coded. It's just like it's such like I would even say NERD.
Yes, NERD. And then it has, you know, the NERD they do the band thing, the 1, 2, 3 to start. So
so I think this album is meant to be disruptive. Like if you follow Tyler from the beginning, Tyler's always been disruptive. Like he's always been controversial, but this is disruptive in a different type of way. Like the instrumentation.
It hurt. This album hurts to listen to.
It's supposed to be, like Tyler said it best, like quote unquote shifty. It was this transitional period for him where he really wanted to be taken seriously as an artist, and especially coming off of his previous albums, this was just a necessary left turn that he needed to take to be taken more serious.
I agree. There were just things that I'm glad we got this project, because without this project, we don't get Flower Boy and we don't get Igor.
Yeah.
Right. And then that doesn't lead into Call Me If You Get Lost, which leads into Chromacopia. So I think that he just figured out something that like worked for him. I think he figured out branding, because this was when he made like the flame print. This was like when we got like a lot of like the imagery that is like so iconic now. Shit, the first Camp Flog Gnaw was the year that this album came out.
Yeah, damn, yeah.
So there's like a lot of history, and like there was like I think I put it in my I did in my Instagram post. There was a museum at Camp Flog Gnaw that we went to.
I did see that. Yeah, it kind of showed like the history,
and it showed the history of Our Future, and it showed like all the things they went through. And I don't know. I'm not gonna give them much credit and say that they knew what they were doing, but like there's so much lore and things that they did that was like really, I'm like, yo, this is really smart what they did, because like, you know, later down the line, the same way how like we look at things from like when Run DMC went on that huge tour, like Rap Fest and stuff like that, we're gonna be able to like look at all this Our Future stuff and be like, damn, like those dudes like had like a blast, because it's like, you look at the pictures and you could tell like, yo, they trashed the backstage that night, or like they shoot, or like, and you could tell like they're mature now. Like these dudes are having kids. These dudes like, you know, take care of their families. Like they're adults now.
They have different eras in their careers.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah.
So they're the breadwinners of their families. Probably they're probably the first millionaire in their family. So they have responsibility. So like they're a lot more calm now than they were when they were young. But you can just see like and you can see the energy like vibrating through like the pictures that like are taken, like of their whole crew and everything like that. So I'm just like, wow, like they succeeded. And then I always go back to this. I'll be like, damn, man, ASAP Mob had it shot.
Yeah, ASAP Mob. What could have been, man?
What
and I think so. Another part of this album, the second track, Buffalo, it's another crucial part of Tyler's growth. I think it, as an artist in this song, is what it really, really captures. And you get to see him kind of had his realization, like, damn, I am a role model now. I can either go against this or embrace this. And how do I embrace this? What does it mean if I embrace this? Like now, that I'm gonna embrace this or choosing to, this is what I need to do. I need to show them that this is how I'm rolling.
Yo, this production was so fucking difficult to listen to, bro.
Yeah.
This is such a hard listen. Like I felt like it was just like a bunch of kids just breaking shit in a fucking studio. It's all over the place. So much teenage angst. Like I just couldn't. Yeah, I don't enjoy Buffalo.
No. Yeah, I like the overall message of Buffalo, but it's not my favorite. What about Pilot?
The opening drums were cool. I think he overproduced it. Like I can't get comfortable listening to this album. Like it's like so much like I'm just like I can't think of a time that some of these songs would come on that I would enjoy myself.
It's like putting a very creative or musically inclined kid in a room full of instruments and just closing the door, and then just like them taking out their frustrations on the instruments.
Yeah, and it's like that scene. It's like that scene in Step Brothers, like when
the drum set.
Will Ferrell goes into his room and just fucks up his drum set and just like
pretty much.
Yeah.
But I like the beat. Like I said, I like the messaging. I don't want to crash anymore was like one of the things that stood out to me in the song that he says, because again, it sticks to the theme of growth. You know. What about Run?
I felt like a UK grime inspired kind of song. Noise.
Yeah, I wrote it can be hard to hear the message because it's so chaotic, but this is Tyler still leaning into his role model status. So yeah, it is. It is just noise. But the calm of that. Right?
Find your wings.
Self-empowerment,
kind of, self-discovery. It sounds beautiful. Shout out to Kali Uchis, shout out to Sid, shout out to Ray Ayers, and the 16 other people singing on this beautiful song.
Yeah, so funny enough, he got Roy Ayers on this, and but he originally wanted Stevie Wonder and Thundercat. Yeah, so
damn.
Yeah, he wanted Stevie and Thundercat, but he got Roy Ayers, and Roy Ayers fucking loved it. So how could you be mad at Roy Ayers being on your song?
Right, you don't stop that. Cherry Bomb, the title track of the album. I'm just like I wrote. I'm not a fan of like slam dancing and moshing and shit like that, and that's what this song ensues. And like this is like that's the energy that this song brings, and I just can't. I would be a liar if I said like, oh, I've never moshed or anything like that. But it's just like I hear this music. And also, like, you gotta remember, after like the first, I listened to Cherry Bomb like maybe 3 times most in its completion. After that, I just went back to Smuckers, right?
Okay.
So then coming back to this album after all those years, I'm like, wow, like I'm not even in that headspace to enjoy this project. So this this is me now telling you about it. When I first heard it, it already sounded hard in my ears, and I just picked the song that I like the most. Right. And just continue listening to that.
It's funny because when it came out, it's probably the best chance that it had of resonating with you. Because it was 2015, was younger, was actually outside more.
Yeah.
Was going
I was 20, I was what, 27?
Yeah. So yeah, that's the best chance that it had. Listening to it now is cool as a reflection period because it's like, okay, this is where he was back then. This was him kind of breaking out of his shell and, and seeing. And then now I'm looking up like the albums that came out in 2015. And it's kind of hard to wedge this album between all of these albums that came out. There's like a common theme here of like, you got a Dr. Dre album that year. Future was starting his run with DS2. You got If You're Reading This, so like the height of Drake stuff.
We went to LA that summer too.
Yeah. So I think the year that was the year of Fetty Wap. So like music was just in this very interesting place.
Yo, this album did not fit in 2015.
Nah, it just didn't fit for when it came out. And I think it got overlooked for that reason. But now that people are into Tyler the way that they are, they're revisiting his discography and just, I think this is one of the standouts because it's so different.
Okay. You got Blow My Load, which is the song has a fucking 90s R&B influence, which Tyler loved. Tyler loves 90s R&B.
Yeah.
Like loves it. The production is so like I just think it's mad funny. And he also got Wanye Morris from Boys II Men to sing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. He got Wanye. He got who else is on here? He got Sid. He got Damn Funk and Austin Anderson. But yeah, Blow My Load. Did you read where like he got the inspiration for this song?
No, where you got the insurance?
What's this actress's name? Cara Delevingne?
Okay.
Is that her name?
I don't
Cara?
know.
Let me see. You definitely know her face. You're good with that stuff. Let me see. Yeah.
Okay, her.
This lady. Yeah.
Okay.
Cara, whatever her last name is, but she's a supermodel. He wrote the song after seeing a picture of her that he liked.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't blame him.
And
I
he
get it.
just
Yeah.
blow my load.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very random song. It's not my favorite.
That's crazy. She was 22 when he made this song.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember. I mean, he was
younger too. He was
22.
Yeah, he was probably
22 or 23.
Yeah, he was probably he was the same age as her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, two-seater.
Storytelling Tyler. He's on a date, but it's another song ruined by noises.
Yeah, so the string section of this song, he wanted Rick Ross. I think that would have been dope.
Rose turned him down?
I don't know why it didn't work out, but he just didn't get him and just decided like, fuck it, I'm gonna just keep it the way it is.
That's insane because I know Ross is like very quick. Like, I guess, I don't know. Maybe Khaled hated.
Yeah, maybe. That's funny. Imagine that's like where their beef stems from.
Right.
Let's see here. The Brown Stains of Darkest Latifah. The title means absolutely nothing because I looked it up. I was like, what the fuck does this mean? And he thought that it would just be a funny title for when somebody anticipating the day that somebody comes up to him in the streets and says, yo, I really like that song, and like names the song.
He probably did that just to fuck with Schoolboy.
So, yeah. And then, Schoolboy is on this as well.
Yeah, I enjoy Schoolboy's verse on the song a lot.
Yeah. And then you get to Fucking Young / Perfect. This obsession that he has with 2006 is very fascinating to me. Like, it's very like his whole rap persona to me is that year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was when like he really had like his like I think he became aware of things. Like there's certain years where I could say like, all right, I really was locked in with shit. Like I could say like maybe 2002 I was really locked in with music. Like very locked in with music, and it kind of like molded how I like see things.
I think for me it was 2003.
Okay.
Cause it was, we had Get Rich. I had the Black Album. Like when the Black Album came out, for some reason I was really, really locked in because I thought that was Jay-Z last album.
And you thought it was it. Yeah, I think for me with 2002 I was locked because I was understanding sampling. I was it was so many things happening for me. I was understanding sampling, mixtapes, freestyle, like just understanding like the structure of things and the lore of hip hop and everything like that. For me, it was 2002. But yeah, like this
song,
that you're Fucking Young, Perfect. Like
I wrote down that it was like Young Girl by Pharrell with a bigger budget.
Yeah.
Basically what it was.
Obviously, next up is Smuckers, the album standout for me. All three delivered. This song pretty much helped me and my brother bond.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this song is always gonna have a special place in my heart. It's always gonna be an important song for me and a timestamp. Like something that I had no idea would open the door for me and my brother to be able to have a relationship. Me and my little brother, 21 years apart.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, we're 21 years apart. So it's just like the way that we look at it, like I'm looking at him like, yo, I don't want to do anything bad to set a bad example for you. And like he's like, I want to make this guy so proud. So it's like it's very funny like how like me and him kind of like walk on eggshells around each other, trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to be a good role model, good example, and he's like trying to make me proud and do everything he thinks I want to do. It's funny.
That's so
I hope that dynamic between us never changes.
Never changes.
I like the fact that like we have that.
I don't see it changing at all.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Smucker's, an interesting thing about this song though is that he made this beat for Kanye and Hov for Watch the Throne sessions.
Wow.
So he didn't get a chance to use it till 2015 for this album. So he made it back in 2011, I guess, Watch Your Throne came out around then. Yeah. He made it back
Fucking
then.
Jay-Z, man.
So
I know it's Jay-Z's fault.
So yeah, they didn't take it. And he was like, I'm gonna just keep it and then make it amazing, And I love this pocket that Tyler always manages to get out of Wayne. I think around the time that Wayne was rapping fully in auto-tune and shit, it's like every time he got in the studio with Tyler, he was like, yo, strip all that shit away, use your regular voice.
I just wonder, like, do you think because artists don't get in the studios together as much like how they used to? Like usually like it's like email to dial in their own studio and shit like that. I saw an interview with Rocky where Rocky said that like Tyler does similar to what Pharrell does, where like he pretty much tells you how he wants everything done.
Yeah, I see that from him.
Down to telling you how he wants you to pronounce shit. So I'm like, damn, like Wayne really respects this nigga. Because like he really like I feel like he gives Wayne full direction, whether they're in the studio together or not, or whether it's a conversation on the phone. Like Tyler is getting through to Wayne and like, yo, I really need you.
I think it's a way of doing it too, though. Since I think if he came at Wayne just on some, yo, Wayne, I will love you on the song, but I need you to do this, this, and this, Wayne would be like, get the fuck out of here. But he's coming at Wayne like, bro, I really love when you get in this pocket. Yeah. Would you give me this for this? Yeah. It's like,
that's true.
You gotta kind of like low key glaze to get what you want. Yeah. But I think him and Tyler, people are starting to pick up more on their chemistry, because like every time they get together, I think it started with this, right?
I believe so, yeah, because that was the reason why it was a big deal, because like he got like two of his idols on a song with him.
Yeah, so he's been on every album since then, I want to say.
Right.
And it's been amazing. So I think, well, no, he wasn't. Was he on Igor?
Wayne is not on Igor.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I could have sworn. I will ignore. Never mind. I guess he isn't. But yeah, so like they have like this really great chemistry that's bubbling, and I think Wayne needs the direction and the what's the word I'm looking for? He needs somebody to give him direction like how Tyler does. Somebody that can streamline his thoughts.
Yeah, 1,000%
Wayne just wants
right.
to rap.
Yeah, you're 1,000% right. Yeah. I would love for somebody like Tyler or Rick Ross, French Montana, like to executive produce a Lil Wayne project. Like
keep French Montana away.
Keep French Montana, like his sequencing. I don't want him on the album. I just want him to executive produce it.
Okay.
There's certain people that are very good at like mapping out albums and like kind of like giving like the overall story. All right, let's remove French, but Rick Ross and Tyler the Creator are very good at mapping out albums. I also would like to see one other person, Punch. If Punch oversaw Wayne's album, I think it would be amazing. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but I think that Punch will be able to get a really good album out of Wayne.
I think so too. I think Wayne just needs direction. He can just rap his ass off, and he's so loose with his legacy. He's like, I just want to rap, bro. Give me a beat, and it's like, and
Wayne treats his album the way that Wayne treats his career the way that Mike Tyson treats his career.
Yeah,
we hold it. Yeah, we hold it in like this pristine thing, and Wayne is just like, it's music.
Yeah,
like,
fuck it.
I don't remember making this song,
and that's partially what we love about him. It was like, yo,
I hate that about him. Fuck that shit.
Well, that's partially what I love. It's just a sport. It's just a sport to him. So it's like, yo, I'm sharp. Put a fucking beat on, and I will go crazy. I saw something. We should have touched on this earlier, where we were given like our roundabout of everything that's been happening in the past few weeks. Obviously, Wayne shared his thoughts on the Kendrick like mention, because it wasn't even a diss.
Right.
On Whacked Out Murals, when he said Wayne didn't congratulate him or whatever, or Wayne felt the way. And then Wayne coming out with the tweet that he came out with that was so emotional and just over the top. It's like, oh, let this giant sleep and all of this. I saw a tweet that I was like, yo, this fucking nails it. It's like, yo, they said, yo, the Wayne that I loved would have just rapped on Not Like Us. Like they would have just freestyled on Not Like Us. Not as a diss or nothing. They just would have freestyled over it, and it just would have been fire, and they would have just left it alone, instead of going on Twitter and tweeting about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Wayne very much so misunderstands what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think he understands anything. I feel like Wayne probably ain't even hear the song. He probably just somebody told him what he says in the song.
I agree. I think somebody just told him like what was being said, and then he just like jumped out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He's not very much in tune.
So we're up to track 12 now, right?
Yeah, we're keep the O's. What you think?
It's a straightforward hip hop song. This song was actually one of the tolerable songs. The hook is good. I definitely so like it's funny. I mentioned it earlier, but like my thing is my question that I asked. I wonder if this is what inspired A$AP Rocky's Testing.
Okay.
This song actually made me think about it because this song actually, I was like, I get what he was aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
Experimental chaos. Got it.
Yeah. I think a lot of what this was a big moment for Tyler working with his idol. This song didn't really stand out to me though. It's kind of just, I don't know. Anytime Pharrell, I never really look forward to Pharrell verses.
Pharrell is hit or miss, bro, because it's like he's such a legend.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, he has there's so many misses that happen with Pharrell. And I'm pretty sure that's happened with like a lot of like great music producers. But I think that sometimes I think Pharrell does a really good job with new artists.
I think so too.
I think he's better with I think Pharrell is better with new up and coming artists versus artists that are already established.
Mm.
And I think when he's coming into like, because you have to pause, you have to give yourself to Pharrell. So if you don't completely like just do what Pharrell tells you to do, it doesn't work that way because it's his vision. So like when you guys are when you're collaborating with Pharrell, it kind of don't feel right. Like Pharrell's personality and his idea of certain things is so big and like wide ranging. I just feel like it kind of has to be that way. It has to be all or nothing with Pharrell. And I feel like with Tyler, he like loves Pharrell, but I think it's better when Tyler just does his own thing and then brings it to Pharrell versus them just actually working together.
Yeah, because that's a good point. Because Tyler can kind of match that thought process.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, he's the same type of creative.
Yeah.
Where he'll work with you, but he'll give you all the stems that he wants you to use.
Mm-hmm.
Like Pharrell will give you a beat, but it has the chorus on it.
Yeah.
Like he wants you to do it this way.
Right. And some people listen and some people don't. I think Nori is a perfect example of someone who completely listened to Pharrell.
Yeah.
And it worked every time. It just so happened that Hot 97 banned him and like New York radio banned Nori and ruined his life for no reason. Nah, he wasn't even there, bro, at Hot 97. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Quick sidebar. Noriega, the guy who runs Drink Champs, as some as you know now, had a promising rap career. Like he was really going far. And then like, he got into reggaeton. There was a huge shootout at Hot 97 between like Mobb Deep's camp and
who was the other camp?
Oh, the Junior Mafia. Right. Kim, it was Kim and Foxy. Yeah. It's Kim and Foxy thing. And Nori got like tied into it and Nori wasn't even there.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Anyways, just moving along. Track 13.
Well, yeah, we close out.
Yeah, it's a closeout. Getting through this album was a task. But it's cool to see like how much better he's gotten since this album. This album kind of catapulted him to make a pivot. Like this was his last project on Our Future Records. Our Future Records, I believe, is defunct now because now he's directly with RCA. I think that like this was like him leaving college. Or would you say leaving high school?
Leaving high school
and going to college.
Definitely leaving high school, going to college.
Yeah, like it was just something where I was like, okay, like I fully get why my brother loves this album, but I see where the potential is going. I'm just glad that the labels believed in him.
Yeah, and I think he was so ambitious in making this, and even just for this closer, like the relentless, like the optimism that it has, and it was a left turn that he needed because he would otherwise risk getting boxed in. I think that's how he saw it. Yeah. It's like, all right, this is the forecast of my career. This is where I am now. How do I get out of this? How do I get people to see me differently? All right, I have to make this album that's like the shit, there was like a term for it, and I've mentioned this before. It's kind of like how Marvin had "Hear My Dear," or like you know the term I'm talking about, like where or like Childish Gambino had "Awaken My Love."
Okay.
You get these artists that make these albums that they have to switch. You know, they make like a switch, like a hard left, like their
Pivot.
experimental album.
A hard
you know?
pivot. I got you.
Yeah. So like that's what this is for Tyler. And I think that's partially what I really appreciate about it, because without this album, you don't have the Tyler that we have today, like easily. This is the remnants of the Tyler that we have today, or the beginning of the remnants of it.
Okay.
You want to get to your rating?
Yeah. 2 out of 5 waffles for this album.
Okay.
I love Tyler, the Creator. I'm gonna tell you, I have a love-hate relationship with this album. Without this album, we don't get the next run of songs, of albums from Tyler, right? So this album is necessary, but I don't need to listen to this album in full ever again. Just give me Smuckers and I'll keep it moving.
Okay. I think for me, I'm good with a 3 on this album. I think a lot of the songs on here are really ambitious, but then there's like some knocks out the park on here. I love how he's able to flex his creative muscle and his instrumentation with Find Your Wings, and having the foresight to have somebody like Roy Ayers on there is amazing. Smuckers obviously is really good. 2-seater. The highlights on here are really good, and then it just makes it that much better to know where he ended up today, you know, and it all started from this pivot.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Like I said, like Tyler, like I spend money on Tyler, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm not a hater. I just, I have to be honest with how I'm going to rate an album. This album, was on the like lower tier of his discography, but since then it's been chef's kiss. Like he's just been going. Also, what's very funny is that like I can say this now because I didn't find it. I was trying to surprise Thomas because I was going to get him Cherry Bomb on vinyl.
Okay,
bro, and
you can't find it.
It can't because like they were limited copies made. And like the resale for them is like $500. No.
Ooh.
And there's bootleg versions of it. I didn't know that you could bootleg a vinyl album.
Oh yeah, people
like
make their own shit all the time.
I have Frank Ocean's Nostalgia Ultra. I didn't know that it's a bootleg. I thought it was an actual.
I thought they sold that at Urban at one point.
I'll double check, but I don't think so. I think it's a bootleg.
Like sometimes there's like a repress, like a reissue of a
because
vinyl.
It would start out as a mixtape and the samples didn't get cleared. So like that's why like somebody told me, it was like, that's like it's fine. Like it's not like, what I'm saying, like and it plays music, but like it wasn't printed by,
it wasn't
label.
Officially distributed. Yeah, and that's just the thing. That's just the thing with physical media in itself. Like with anything in physical media, you can get an alternative copy of it. Like I think as vinyl is getting more and more popular again.
Yes.
Because physical media in general.
I got to figure out my collection's starting to get a little crazy. Like I got to get another crate to hook because like it's starting to weigh down. My record's starting to weigh down my shelf.
Oh yeah. So yeah, man, I think but that's cool. I think I'm kind of invested in that now. I'm gonna look. I'll see what I can find. But it's gonna happen. I think but getting back to this album, I think you guys should check it out, especially with everything that's surrounding Tyler in the current moment. Chromacopia is amazing. I think it's always important if you appreciate an artist today, to know where they came from and know where they're going.
Yeah.
You know? So give this album a listen. Let us know what you think if you haven't already. I'm First Class Regg.
I'm Taurian B.
We're out of here.
Catch you guys next time.
And today.
Dun dun.